I'd like to now recognize David Phillips.
Thank you, Congressman Smith, and thanks to Co-Chair McGovern and Congressman Bilirakis for your leadership here and around the world. I'm very pleased to be testifying alongside Ambassador Brownback, Michael Rubin for his unflagging and principled support, and John Evans, who I met many years ago in Yerevan and with whom I've maintained contact. The Commission and human rights advocates everywhere are grateful to President Biden for annually recognizing the Armenian genocide in his Remembrance Day statement. Most of you are familiar with the Turkish-Armenia Reconciliation Commission, which I chaired from 2001 to 2004. The TARC reaffirmed the applicability of the term genocide to characterize the World War I era treatment of Armenians. What we see today is a second Armenian genocide, which is underway. And the United States is simply not doing what it can do to stop this pattern, despite ample evidence of credible human rights organizations. I urge this commission to do more, including visiting ARTSOC, to express solidarity there, and to make clear that American values on human rights and genocide prevention not be traded for hydrocarbons or other concessions to authoritarian leaders. As we've learned painfully in many places, deals with corrupt authoritarians end up harming the U.S. no matter the perceived short-term transactional benefits. I also want to commend the U.S. Commission on International Religious Freedom for exposing the horrible destruction of Armenian Christian churches and monuments reminiscent of the Taliban's conduct. The U.S. has several tools it can use here. Section 907 of the Freedom Support Act is frequently cited. It requires cutting off assistance to Azerbaijan for blockades and aggressive military action. Waivers of Section 907 only harm U.S. credibility. The disproportionate arms transfers to Baku at the end of the Trump administration served to embolden Azerbaijan and Turkey's war in 2020. Another U.S. law on the books since the mid-1990s is the Humanitarian Aid Corridors Act. It provides that no assistance shall be furnished under this chapter of the Arms Control Act to any country when the government of such country prohibits or otherwise restricts, directly or indirectly, the transport or delivery of U.S. humanitarian assistance. It was initiated by Van Krikorian of the Armenian Assembly, and I know Co-Chairman Smith played a very active role and was proud in securing its passage. It is obviously applicable in more areas where human rights violations take place and humanitarian efforts are frustrated. In addition, the Global Magnitsky Act sanctions, as well as other tools, also exist for gruesome and state-sponsored terrorist activities, which I will refer to next. Azerbaijani forces attacked ARTSOC on September 27, 2020. They used armed drones, heavy artillery, rockets, and special forces. They were backed by Turkish military and mercenaries, including up to 2,000 Islamist jihadis from Syria and Libya, who were promised a bounty for killing Armenians. Trophy videos of by these jihadists show them boasting over Armenian bodies they had mutilated. Within days of the attack on ARTSOC, Columbia University launched a research and documentation project on human rights and foreign terrorist activities in ARTSOC. It is cited in pending House and Senate legislation. The project, in cooperation with the ARTSOC Human Rights Ombudsman, documents Azerbaijan's systematic effort to drive Armenians from their homeland through killings, ethnic cleansing, and deportations. Specific perpetrators of gruesome atrocities intended to advance Azerbaijan's genocidal intent are identified and documented. The destruction of religious and cultural sites is also documented. Here I would refer you to the Cornell University site, which has used advanced satellite imagery to expose this conduct. The overall goal of Azerbaijan was and remains the cultural erasure of Armenians. In violation of the trilateral ceasefire statement of November 9, 2020, Azerbaijan blocked the Lachin corridor on December 12th. Mr. Rubin referred to a recent photo on the bridge leading to Artsakh, where an APC has been parked and is blocking the passage of civilians, many of whom are seeking medical services. Blocking the corridor has left 120,000 Armenians without life-saving medication and health care. Azerbaijan established checkpoints on the border with Armenia. It cut gas, electricity, water, mobile communications, and it is engaged in well-documented daily attacks. The ultimate aim, and let's be clear, is emptying Artsakh of its native Armenian population by subjecting them to physical and psychological attacks, making their lives unlivable. Last weekend, President Erdogan visited Baku and urged further actions to send Armenians the message that they are unwanted. Erdogan's new government includes a foreign minister who has committed crimes against Armenians. These crimes did not occur in the fog of war. It is a stated policy of Azerbaijan. In 2004, Azerbaijani Defense Minister Safar Abiyev stated, "Within the next 25 years, there will be no state of Armenia in the South Caucasus." In 2005, the mayor of Baku addressed a German delegation. "Our goal is the complete elimination of Armenians. You Nazis already eliminated the Jews in the 1930s and 1940s, right? You should be able to understand us." Ilham Aliyev stated on December 24, 2022, "Work should focus on a single concept and policy, our return. Now the Great Return Program for Karabakh is being implemented. Inshallah, there will come a time when we develop a second Great Return Program to Greater Azerbaijan. We will drive them away like dogs." It is clear from Aliyev's actions and his hate speech that a second Armenian genocide is underway. The Erdogan regime is a full partner. It has equipped Azerbaijan with the tools to implement its Armenophobia. Erdogan's wife is recorded urging Aliyev not to release 2020 prisoners of war, to maintain leverage despite the stated agreement. We know that Aliyev has a record of not keeping his commitments. POWs have not been accounted for, which is a violation of international humanitarian law. A report and study should be issued. We have already conducted research that we can make available. This commission and the administration can do much more. With a national security policy prioritizing democracy, why are the democracies of Armenia and Artsakh being asked to capitulate to the terrorism of Aliyev and Erdogan? In December 2021, the International Court of Justice ordered Azerbaijan to take all necessary measures to prevent and punish acts of vandalism and desecration affecting Armenian cultural heritage. Azerbaijan simply ignored the court's order. In the summer of 2022, the 18th century Armenian Church of St. Sargis was completely razed. Subsequently, ICJ ordered Azerbaijan to respect the November terms and allow free transport of the Lachin corridor. We hope that the documentation project on atrocities in Artsakh will preserve evidence to deter future crimes and hold perpetrators accountable. Those perpetrators include not only Azerbaijan, but also Erdogan and his cohorts in Turkey. Erdogan stated, "Turkey stands with and will continue to stand with friendly and brotherly Azerbaijan with all our means and all our heart." Aliyev and Erdogan are blood brothers who belong in the dock together. My testimony, which is submitted for the record, details more extensively Turkey's involvement in these actions, including Turkey's use of F-16s and its acquisition of weapons from Russia, which should be actionable under CATSA. The U.S. should look at CATSA, explore ways it's applicable to actions of Turkey and Azerbaijan, and make sure that CATSA is the law of the land and it is fully enforced. I'll leave it there and look forward to your questions so we can speak further.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Phillips. Just a point, you talked about the second Armenian genocide. I've chaired 3 hearings on the Armenian genocide. And before the first one, I went and read Ambassador Morgenthau's book, which was written contemporaneously with the horrific genocide that was committed. And to think that, as you have pointed out, this is, we're in the midst of the second Armenian genocide is just, it's frightening. And we need to do more as a country. I think other interested democracies need to do more. So I thank you for your testimony. I'd like to now